Alright, so this time we're going to look at ages, how to ask people how old they are, and how to say how old you are. So again, we always start with the question. How old are you? Speaking informally. There are two main ways to ask this question. You can ask, quel âge as-tu? Or, just like before, we can flip the two halves of our sentence and say, tu as quel âge? Either way, doesn't matter. You have to have the quel and the âge together, and you have to have the tu and the a together, though note that those two flip positions in the different sentences. It's always quel âge, but if the quel âge comes first, then you must ask as-tu. If it comes second, you must ask tu as. We don't really cover the formal version of this. It doesn't show up in your book, but you never know. There might be a situation where you need it, and besides, it's good practice. So we only have two things we need to change. The quel âge stays the same. That part will never change. It's only the a and the tu that we have to change. The you have. So we're going to change a to avez and tu to vous. So we go from quel âge as-tu to quel âge avez-vous? Or, just like before, we can flip the two halves of the sentence, keep the quel âge together, but then flip the avez-vous. Vous avez quel âge? In order to answer, it's super easy. There's only one possible way to answer this. J'ai, however many, ans. Remember, we don't pronounce our S, and AN is a nasal sound, so you'll have j'ai, for example, j'ai 14 ans. It's all just one sound, even though it's three letters. So, for some example sentences, j'ai 13 ans, okay, for I'm 13 years old. J'ai 20 ans, I'm 20 years old. Notice that because un does in fact begin with an A, which is a vowel, if you have a letter at the end of your number, which can form a liaison, it should. J'ai 13 ans. Normally it'd be j'ai 20, right? But it's j'ai 20 ans, because un begins with that A. Again, j'ai 8 ans. J'ai 18 ans, j'ai 28 ans, j'ai 38 ans. An, beginning with that A, means you have to liaison with the number. If it ends in a liaisonable, that's a word now, liaisonable letter. E is not one, so 13 stays the same. T is one, so 20 ans, 8 ans, etc. So, another example conversation. Okay? So, you show up to Hoffer Grove the next day and you run into your good friend Bob. If you don't know who Bob is, go watch the introduction video. So, today you've been thinking about it and you want to know how old Bob is because you want to be able to celebrate his birthday. So, you're going to ask him what? You should have asked, quel âge as-tu? Or possibly, tu as quel âge? Those are the only two possibilities here. Quel âge as-tu? Or tu as quel âge? And how will Bob respond? So maybe Bob is 14, so he says, j'ai 14 ans. J'ai 14 ans. And now you know that Bob is 14 already.